Hello and welcome back to the third of four at four, for Christians in Entertainment, done roughly every fortnight. Okay, sorry about that. So we were thinking last time about how Jesus' growth, first dimension we were looking at was wisdom. And we saw how actually he says of his discipleship that you really are my disciples if you spend time in my word and you grow in understanding of truth, which is liberating, which is of course effective truth, effective understanding is wisdom. Luke 2, which describes Jesus' growth, goes on from wisdom and then says, but also stature. And stature is used in the Greek world in a similar way to the way we use it in English to mean more than just getting bigger. It means moral character. Jesus is growing in his moral character, his strength of character. And I want to suggest to you, therefore, that when Jesus adds his next mark of discipleship, he's actually talking about character. When he says, you're really my disciples if you know the truth, and the truth sets you free, but the world will know you're my disciples in that you have love one for another. Well, what's love got to do with character? Well, everything, it turns out. I get to coach at my old university in a secular environment, students in their character development. And it's a conclusion of modern moral psychology alongside what was already an ancient biblical truth, that actually perfect love casts out all fear, is the foundation of the way we behave. The flavour out of behaviour tends to manifest either the sympathetic nervous system, which we often refer to as fight or flight instinct, or the parasympathetic nervous system, we think of sometimes as the broaden and build instinct. For good behaviour to emerge, we need to see the increase of the second. Perfect love casting out all fear. Now, we think about what does that mean for us. Well, I sometimes ask those students, can you define love for me? And they get a bit embarrassed. They don't mind talking about sex, but love is a bit intimate. And of course, as we know, Shakespeare put it this way, love is a many splendid thing. There are 1,000 different ways you can answer the question, what is love? But fundamentally, there is something going on that I want to kind of perhaps draw out. Our good behaviour is often a manifestation, as I said, of the dominance within our nervous system of a couple of things which are probably driven by a couple of hormonal triggers, one oxytocin, the other serotonin. I'm just going to think about serotonin now. Serotonin, we all know, is absolutely fundamental to having good mental health. That's why we have, for those with depression issues, they will often be given serotonin uptake inhibitors. And what they do is they stop the speedy uptake of serotonin when it's there so it doesn't disappear too quickly. It lasts a little bit longer. As it lasts longer in our brain, it gives us an opportunity to see the world more positively, to get more up about life. But here's the thing, serotonin takes time in the brain when we are feeling social status, when we're feeling admired and impressed, either by ourselves or by those around us. So there are really only two routes, well, there are typically two routes, and we'll think about a third and a second, to getting good serotonin uptake, or not uptake, so good serotonin input into our brains. And we either do it by social dominance or by social prestige. There is a third possibility, but it's dependent on others rather than you. The third possibility is that those with some level of social competence, and I'm going to put us in the mix as entertainers, because as we thought in the first episode, to entertain is to draw attention to me and to connect together. There is something intrinsically about entertainment that gives us social status. When those with social status freely give it away to others, there is less of a need for them to take it, either by competitiveness, social dominance, or if they don't have it themselves, to feel bad about themselves. They don't need to feel that because they're getting that social status from those who are good at it. And so I want to kind of bring that challenge. The world will know you're my disciples because of the way you actually use your skills and the position that you've been given and the social status you have to raise the status of those around you. That the leader should be the servant of all. It's one of the ways we think of it. That actually I use the status I get from my own prestige, but in a way where I share it with others, which actually gives them a base level that means they don't have to achieve it by fighting and competing so badly. And the world is a much happier place when those who have those instincts that they can naturally feel proud of can share them with those around us. So I just want to leave us with that thought that actually, by the very nature of being an entertainer, we are being given a platform. If we can use that platform wisely, we don't have to set it up so that we actually prove our superiority to others in serotonin levels, but actually we share it with others. And actually we lift the underlying level and the cohesion of the whole community. And as the world looks in, they go, wow, how is it they do that? How is it they do that? Well, that would be a great testimony to have, wouldn't it? I've been Kristen Forster. I'll see you for the last 4 at 4 in a couple of weeks.